Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today what I'm going to do is a ranking video. It was actually my sister's idea. She suggested that I do my favorite PlayStation games. And I thought, okay, that's a really good idea. So what I'm going to do in this video is my top 10 favorite PlayStation 1 games. Then I'll do another video of my top 10 favorite PlayStation 2 games. And then I'm going to do a top 10 of just my favorite PlayStation games in general. You guys like my shirt? How's Slytherin, y'all? So I just want to start by saying that it's been brought to my attention by my very handsome and loving husband that I have a tendency to go on and on in my videos and that they're too long and that he thinks they shouldn't be much longer than 10 minutes. And I agree. So I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. I also want to say that in this top 10, there's a lot of games that are franchise style games. I'm starting to wonder if I have a speech impediment because I get tongue-tied when I do these. And I decided not to include more than one from each franchise. Let's go. Short and sweet. So for number 10, I have Resident Evil 2. I kind of floated this game around with another game that I'm not comfortable saying because I feel like it's going to ruin any type of gaming recognition that I have. I don't have a gaming reputation anyway, so I don't know why I wouldn't want to, but I'm not going to say what game it was. Anyway, Resident Evil 2 is a good game. I picked Resident Evil 2 because I played it more. I liked it more, not to mention it has Leon. That's pretty much it. I'm not really into the Resident Evil franchise. I think it's just kind of hack 'em and slash 'em. It's more of a jump scare in your face type of scary game, which I love scary games. But this one is just, yeah. But I put it at number 10 because it is fun to play and it's iconic. Number 9, I have a game that probably most people haven't heard of. It's called Rallycross. And it was a racing game. And I remember it was actually a racing game that my mom tried and she really liked it. And it's really fun because it's really wonky. Like it's not like a really tight handling. You just barely like turn the corner and your car will like flip over, like it'll just flip over like crazy. So it was really fun, and you would go over all these like sandy hills and you'd be bouncing around everywhere, and there was cars, but I would always pick like this giant Bronco with these humongous tires on it. So it was a really fun racing game. For number 8, I have a game called Bushido Blade. Now I remember I played the demo. It was on the Final Fantasy VII demo. After I played it, I had to get this game, and it's so cool. It's like a samurai style fighting game, but the maps are really big, so you can run around all over the map, unlike most fighting games. You have a samurai sword, you have a bunch of different fighters, and basically you just shred them and try to kill them. There was also an option to, and there's a word for it, but I don't know what the word, but you actually had the option to like give yourself up to be killed or kill yourself with your own sword. Like almost like, well, I'm going to lose anyway, but I'm not going to let you kill me. So you could do it yourself. It was really bloody. It was really, really wonderful. For number 7, I have Myst. This game is no joke. If you haven't played Myst, it's on Steam. The original, I think it's like $5 or $7. I don't remember how much it is. It's between there. It's really good. It's an old computer game. It's a point and click style game, but it's got an amazing story, an amazing setup. It's like playing a book, a really good book. And I can't believe it's not a movie. I don't know if it's a movie. I haven't heard. If it's not a movie, it should be a movie. You could make a movie out of this game. It's really mysterious. The music is really cool. It's just so good. It's so iconic. It's probably one of the best games ever made, to be honest. So for number 6, I have Tekken 2. Now, when I was trying to break down which one I wanted to pick. It honestly came down to Tekken 2 and Tekken 3. I ended up going with Tekken 2 because to me, it was just funner. The characters were a lot cooler. Granted, a lot of those characters are in Tekken 3. Some of them are not. I always bump my camera with my knee. Jun Kazama, she's one of my favorite characters and she's in it. And the reason I like her so much is because of her fighting style. And it was like that with all of the characters in Tekken 2. The fighting styles felt really organic. It was just cooler. Like that first intro, and when you see Nina and, you know, she's crosses her legs and she, you know, flips her hair, and she's just, it was just so cool. Like the characters, they were, not to mention they have a character named Li Xiaolan, and I had like such a crush on him, and I'm like, he's a video game character. You're so weird, but I don't know. I just thought he was really cute for a video game character. Number 5 is a game that has a very special place in my heart. It's called Moto 2. It's a seriously underrated game. Not many people have heard of it, not at least not that I've seen or heard. And the reason why it means so much to me is because me and my brother used to play it and we loved this game. It is a racing game as well. And it's a jet ski racing game. So you're in the water a lot of the time. You're in mud some of the times. You're on land some of the times as well. And it handled a lot like Rallycross with a very kind of wonky, you know, easy to fall off the maps, which was some of the funnest parts of the game, was falling to your death. Aside from that, Moto 2 has like an amazing soundtrack. Just search for it on YouTube, and the soundtrack, it's like really cool. It is so 80s. I love it. It's got a really awesome list of characters too, a bunch of characters. It was really fun. So for number 4, I have Final Fantasy VIII. So if you watched my Final Fantasy ranking video, you'll know why I love this game. It's really pretty. It's a love story. The characters are really, really cool. Squall, I really like him. He develops really well. Renoa, not so much, but she's okay. She's kind of a spoiled kid, but she's also got, you know, really good heart. And then Quistis, who I really love. She is so pretty. And I remember when I was playing one time and my mom walked in and she saw Quistis on screen and she was like, "Oh, is that you?" She thought that like I designed the character to look like me, and I'm like, I was like glowing. I'm like, you think oh my gosh, that was the biggest compliment ever. Other than that, it's just, I really love 8. It's really fun. For number 3, it's one of my favorite games of all time, and it's Silent Hill. The first one to me is scarier than any of the other ones. And what makes Silent Hill, like if I had to pick the scariest game of all time, I would definitely pick Silent Hill 1. Silent Hill 1 or 2. What makes Silent Hill so scary, it's not like other games where stuff pops out at you and jump scares, you know, jump out and scare you and stuff. Silent Hill is definitely more psychological. It uses really scary sounds, and, you know, stuff creeps around in the darkness, and you hear like laughing children. There's bodies all over, and on top of that, it's got a great story, which is affected by your actions. Going back to the sound, which, not to mention Silent Hill's got beautiful music as well, but the sounds. If I was ever to make a list of like the most terrifying sounds in video games, Sonic's bubble when you run out of air would definitely be on there, but it would also be the radio from Silent Hill. So what it does is it's quiet. You have it turned on, it's quiet. And as you get closer to an enemy, this static, you start to hear like this static, and it starts out really quiet. And then when you're really close to an enemy, it's super loud. And most of the time, you don't see the enemy, but you know they're like right on top of you, and it's terrifying. Silent Hill is just, it's so scary, and it's so good. For number 2, I have another game that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about. I think that is vastly underrated, and it's super good. It's Tinchu Stealth Assassins. I played this game, gosh, I wasn't even in high school yet, so it had to have been, I started high school in 99, so it had to have been somewhere between 97 and 98, I think. And it's a game exactly like what the title says. It's stealth assassins. So you have these 2 characters that you can be, and you sneak around and you have to kill these people, but you had to try to sneak up on them. And then they had like the geishas that would like run through. They were like, ah, when they see, you know, like you're killing somebody, and you could kill the geishas too. I didn't know that, and I killed one, and then I was like, oh, like, my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't know, but you shouldn't kill the geishas. Don't kill the geishas. Yes, Tinchu is an awesome game. If you haven't played it, play it. It's so good. And my number one favorite game for the PS1 is Tomb Raider 2. So I could actually argue, like, if we were going to talk about my favorite gaming franchises, it would definitely be a battle between The Sims and Tomb Raider. And The Sims would probably come out on top. But Tomb Raider is another game that I love. And for a number of reasons, I idolized Lara Croft. She has been my idol since I was a teenage girl. When she came out, I fell in love with her. And I'm talking about the original Lara Croft that was a badass. She was never a victim. She never went, like the new Lara Croft does with all her grunting and whining. She had a killer figure. She is smart. She is tough. You know, she is a marksman. She's skilled. You know, her backstory, they changed it as well, too. Lara Croft has always been a spoiled brat. She's like an heiress. Her father was a count or something like that. I can't remember. I mean, she lives in a manor. Like, it's not even a mansion, it's a manor. If I remember correctly from the movies, she had like 81 rooms in her manor. She was an aristocrat. She wasn't just a rich girl. I don't know. I can't fairly judge the new Tomb Raiders. I haven't played them, but when I saw the trailers for them, I'm like, this is not my Lara Croft. I don't want anything to do with this. Lara Croft was totally sassy, sometimes bordering on being just an outright bitch. The reason why she became what she did, an adventurer, was because her plane crashed when she was, I don't remember how old she was. I want to say she was in her 20s when her plane crashed. And she had to survive in the wilderness by herself because everybody on the plane died except her. That's how she got interested in becoming a, Tomb Raider. In the remake, she was in a boat crash. It's fine. It still works. But they definitely changed her, definitely made her more whiny, and Lara just wasn't whiny. The only time Lara ever screamed is if she jumped off of something really high. In Tomb Raider 2, I liked it a little bit more. The story was, I think it was better, even though Natla is definitely the most iconic villain from the Tomb Raider series. I just kind of liked the levels more in Tomb Raider 2. I thought they were funner. The Tomb Raider series can be really hard, but it's not like Myst hard. Myst is like super hard. I forgot to say that. If you're gonna play Myst, just know that game's super hard. But Tomb Raider it's hard too. It can be hard too. But beautiful game with a beautiful main character who I just adore. So that's it. Those are my top 10 favorite PS1 games. So my next video will be, not my next video, but my next ranking video will be my top 10 favorite PS2 games. And then I'll go on to make my top 10 favorite PlayStation games. Because even though I definitely know more about PS1 and PS2, there's a few games on the PS3 and PS4 that I do really enjoy. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.